Hey YouTube, it's Maddie, the Emptiness Scrapper. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you stopped by. If it's your first visit, I hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please consider subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment for the video. So today is going to be a little Father's Day process video. Also use what you have, because I found in my craft room set of stamps that I barely used, and of course I have a Father's Day die that I gravitate towards every Father's Day, so you got to try to change up the rest. I have here a stitched oval that I utilized and die cut for the card that I am going to share. Did a little inking with my favorite Distress Oxide, and this is peeled paint, and I did use my Amazon brushes, which I absolutely adore. So I did a lot of the work beforehand so as not to put you completely to sleep. But what I would like to encourage you to do is, first of all, if you're tardy, as I always am, I should have thought about Father's Day weeks ago, or at least prior to today. But here you have it. So I pulled out these items. I thought I would put together something for Father's Day. You know, nothing fancy, but at my level. And we all craft at our own speed, our own level. I am a slow crafter, and I've made peace with that. If you're a slow crafter, give yourself some grace. It's okay. And for me, of course, as everyone always says, I know it's not going to be perfect. If they want perfect, they can get Hallmark. So perfect I ain't, and that's a fact. So the other thing I want to share is I scoped around the room and found, some scraps that I did utilize. You could see this is where I did my die cutting, and a couple of scraps that, were hanging around my craft room. I'm still gonna hold on to what's left here, because this can be something later on combined with maybe something else. But I do like this color palette for Father's Day, combined with brown and green. You'll see in a minute. And I did use cream cardstock. This is the Michaels 100 pound. And I used it for the card base as well. So to keep you from falling asleep, I did most of the work already, the die cutting, the coloring, and I'm just going to put it together with you. So first up, here's the cream card base, and I am going to use landscape and have it open up just like that. It will be a card that is blank on the inside. Maybe I'll decorate it a bit with some of the scraps that you just saw, but that is just going to be secondary. First order of business is getting it together. So it's going to have a couple of layers. I do like this color palette again for Father's Day. Kind of is an all-encompassing color palette. It's going to be in the background because it is going to be layered. I like to use my Scotch ATG. I had it a million years, and I get my tape from Tape Jungle in bulk, and I see that I am running low and I'm going to have to place an order again, but I cannot tell you how many years that is, that it has lasted me. So what I like to do is layer glue on top of my tape, and that gives me some wiggle room. I have been enjoying using these tiny glue bottles. They seem to clog less. Of course, you do have to fill them more often because there is not a whole bunch of glue in this little bottle. And I think that the fact that it is such a small bottle does help keeping the glue from clogging. So this is just a standard bottle from Amazon, but I've been using it, I would say, a couple of months. I have been influenced by other YouTubers that I like to follow, and I do have issues with my hands. And I've found that I was thinking of buying that glue dispenser from My Sweet Petunia. I thought it might be useful, but I have to say I've been following some of the YouTubers who have been using it, and I am not convinced that more YouTubers are not trying it and deciding it's not their jam. It is not necessarily what they hoped it might be. So I thought I would try the little bottles, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. Just gonna weigh this down with my acrylic blocks for a minute, put it aside, and grab the next layer. So this is a 5x7 card base, and I am going to have a pretty generous, the piece of paper that I am gluing down, taping right now is, I think, substantially smaller than the stripes. Oops, I have to take out the pin, don't you know? I want the stripes to show. So the stripes have, I believe, maybe 1/8 of an inch all around to show just a tiny bit of the cream background. And this is going to have more than 1/4 of an inch, I believe, when I measured it. So I'll measure it for you again once this goes down. If you like that look, you can use similar measurements. So I'm just going to place this down, and we will have 2 layers. So I do like to use Distress Collage Medium in my little glue bottles. I thought I would put in Multimedia Matte, but it didn't flow well. So I moved over to the Distress Collage Medium because it must be slightly thinner than the Tim Holtz glue, because it flows perfectly well, and I am enjoying that. The reason I use the Distress Collage Medium or the Multimedia Matte is that I am a messy crafter. I make mistakes, and very often glue will ooze out. So a lot of glue companies say, hey, our glue dries clear, and they do. But they dry clear and shiny. And when shiny oozes through, your eye is attracted to it. When matte oozes through, you barely notice it, if at all. So I prefer either the Multimedia Matte or the Distress Collage Medium. if you're interested, let me know in the chat and I will leave a link. I do get the larger tubs and siphon it into these little bottles. Okay, so here we go. I'll show you what the layer looks like now that it's set for a minute. And you know, I thought those colors worked out well. It's just the background. And sometimes I find it challenging creating different backgrounds with different patterns. So the stripes and I thought these swirls complemented each other nicely. And I'll show you what I put together to create this card. So obviously, Happy Father's Day. So as I showed you, that is a die. And what I did was I used that peel paint for the shadow. And then again, the cream background for the sentiment letters. Then I used my stitched oval, which I think I'm going to place right about here. And I stamped a double layer with the peeled paint in the background and for the letters, and the cream cardstock I used to stamp my sentiment on. This little guy from the stamp set I showed earlier is colored in with alcohol ink, and I set him up on a wobbler. So this is what it's going to look like when it's pieced together. And I think it's a cute little Father's Day card. I know that for Father's Day, people tend to use tools or cars. My husband is not a tool guy. When something breaks, we call a repairman. He's not a car guy, never has been. And, you know, that's just not his jam. He likes, you know, we're older now. He likes to play pickleball. He likes to watch sports. So, you know, maybe a sports themed card would be fun. He's a happy pet daddy. And, you know, a pet card now and again is something I've put together, but not a tool card, not a cars themed card. So you have to know who your audience is, and by all means, if your guy is a car guy or a Mr. Fix-It guy, certainly you want to consider creating something that is going to resonate for them. So, yeah, that's how I think it's going to go. So, this one I decided not to go sports themed, and I actually, I don't know if I mentioned, I colored this in with alcohol markers, and I popped this guy up on an action wobbler. So I'm going to remove this piece of adhesive and pop him down, because I just thought it was cute and silly, and sometimes that's enough. You know, it could be one year I'll do sports, one year I'll do, you know, a guy on the sofa watching TV with the remote. That's who my hubby is. So every year it's a little bit different. think a couple of years I did, let me get something to help me with this. Goodness, I told you I had trouble with my hands. Couple of years I did some with, you know, a stamp of a dog that I tried to color in to look like our dog. And that's always fun too. If I have time, I may do that as well and give him more than one card, which, why the heck not, right? Why the heck not? So let me see if I can center this guy where I might like him. I think I'm going to add some adhesive here as well. I just, you know, can't be too careful. And if this oozes out, you won't see it anyway. And it'll also give me that wiggle room to move him if need be. But I bought these Action Wobblers for the very first time over Amazon. And what happened was, you know, since it was my first experience, I pretty much bought the wrong size. These Action Wobblers are pretty large. So I've been cutting them down to make it not show too much through. So let me see. I think I'll move him down some. And he's not going to be perfect. It is what it is. Okay, so let's squash him down, see if we can make that wobbler stick. And while I'm doing that, just going to add a little glue to my sentiment, and it says, "You crack my world." You know, a little punny pun. I don't mind a stupid punny pun. I kind of like them. So, gonna add that on, and then pick up this puppy and let you see it and see what you think. Basically, I just want to share with you and try to motivate you to use what's in your room. Have you got some scraps lying around that might be used to create a card? Are you late for Father's Day like I am? Well, today is Sunday the 9th. Father's Day is next week. I will try to possibly create another card from the dog. You do as you see fit for the father in your life, be it your father, be it your grandfather, be it your husband, be it your son, whoever it may be. If you have somebody you want to wish a happy Father's Day to, look around your room, use what you have, and create something fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this card share, and have a wonderful Father's Day. And please comment, thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, YouTube.